Get ready with me, except you are not invited to my wedding if... You are not invited to my wedding if you hate either me or the groom. I am not going to be snubbed at my own wedding. If you don't like me or you do not like the man that I am being married to, you are not welcome to show up. I am not going to sit there and receive the cold shoulder on my wedding day. Especially if we have beef or it's like one-sided beef and I've heard you do not like me. You are not invited to my wedding if I have not heard from you in about 6 months to a year. You're not invited to my wedding if I have to initiate a conversation with you every time in order to have a relationship. If I am the only person carrying the conversation and even starting conversations, then we are not friends, so why would you be there? Especially if you only talk to me if you need me. So if you are only around me because you need me, I don't need you to need me on my wedding day. You are not invited to my wedding if you're going to argue with the rules that I've set for my wedding. One rule in particular that I am talking about is +1s. You are welcome to bring a +1, but your +1 will have to be approved. Especially if your girlfriend or boyfriend is one of the ones that actively have one-sided beef with either me or the groom, or just hates us in general. Why? We don't want that there. I do not know if I want it to be a kids-free wedding or not, but if I say kids-free, I mean kids-free. If you can't find somebody to watch your kids, guess who's responsible to stay at home and watch them? You. You are not invited to my wedding if you are a gossiper. I don't want to have to worry about this one girl who is just known to talk all kinds of mess, talking mess about my wedding and feeling like I'm not living up to their standards. Now, I am not going to have you there if there's a possible chance that you are going to make me feel uncomfortable. This one's going to be a pretty hot take, but if you just have a messy past, if you've just been to jail one too many times for some pretty messed up stuff, whether it's or just things that have to do with not being a kind person to somebody, I don't want you at my wedding. Why would I want you there? If you get mad at me for who is invited and who is not invited, you are not welcome to join. If you look at me and you have beef with my older brother and you don't like that my older brother is there, you're welcome to stay home. You don't have to be there. Along with not being invited to my wedding, you will be uninvited from my wedding, even if it is the day of my wedding. Even if I am in my wedding dress, escorting you out of the chapel, if you bring any stress to my wedding day, you will immediately be removed from the building. Whether it's just complications with opinions, you don't agree with certain decorations, you don't agree with certain choices that I've made, that is so cool. You are welcome to keep them to yourself until after the wedding. But if you want to go around and not only talk about your opinions out loud and spread gossip throughout my wedding day, but also take it upon yourself to make changes and fix things, you can leave. I see a lot of story times when it comes to bridesmaids. Bridesmaids will probably have a lot stricter rules, specifically because you are going to be an example. You are going to be my closest friends. I don't want you acting like on my special day. If you show up in a white, if you show up in cream, you have to leave. I don't care if cream is not white. Why are you trying to get as close to white as possible? I do not want to have to assign colors to my wedding. I would hope that you would go and get a really bold freaking color that's as far from white as you can possibly find. I do not want no off-white, pale yellow, anything remotely close to white. No creams, no nothing. If you are a bridesmaid or a groomsman, you are assigned colors. Typically, you would go out and pick your colors and your outfits all together. But if something happens and you can't join us and I tell you that I need you to show up in, let's say, a sage green dress, and you text me and tell me that you could only find a different color that's not even remotely close to sage green, it's a freaking red dress, or it's pink, or it's purple, or yellow, or whatever, and you're that's the only color I could find, then you're not going to be in my lineup. You can be a part of the guests. If there's any drama with my maid of honor, You will be escorted out, especially if it's like one of those where it's like, you wish you were my maid of honor. Well, you're not. All right, I am done. That is all the reasons as to why you are either not invited or will be uninvited from my wedding that I'll have in like 5 years.